We are live.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. So
Hello,
I'm going to go
everyone.
ahead and just start talking, even though there's nobody on the stream quite yet. But we wanted to show YouTube some love. Like, I want to show YouTube some love because Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they always get the love for Not Your Average Girl, but not my YouTube channel. So
Hey, you
we are streaming on my YouTube channel. So if you're here watching live tonight, thank you for joining. If you are watching the replay, thank you so much for joining us as well. I
too.
am excited because I have a special guest on my channel, and I'm very pleased to introduce to some and present to others my sister-in-law, Dorlisa Adams.
Hello. How you doing,
So,
Lauren?
girl, I'm good. Just been taking it one day
Yes.
at a
Uh-huh.
time. Are you doing?
I'm doing well. Same as you. I'm just over here taking it one day at a time. That's all we can do, right?
Yes.
Staying busy too.
Yep. That's all we can do. But you know what? I really do believe that what we have to talk about tonight is going to impact someone who will watch at some point.
Good.
Because I'm getting ready to start an initiative that I'm very excited about launching. And if you guys don't know, I ran a mentorship from 2019, the end of 2019 into 2020, right before COVID started. But the mentorship was basically focusing around granting the resources or resources to women in the areas of goals, setting action steps, being purposeful, identity, self worth, how to respond, no matter what the outcome is. I mean, I could go on and on and on about that. And
Mhm.
I was grateful to have been interacting with several ladies who I also learned from during the course of the mentorship. And I really want to launch it again because I want to take it a step further this time. But the reason we're doing this panel tonight is because this is an important part of mentorship, understanding what stems from it, understanding how we get to that point. And tonight's topic is all about community outreach, which I think is huge when it comes to mentorship because you're interacting with people, with the community. And
Mhm.
it's important to understand what that looks like, understand how to navigate that, and get to a place to where it actually becomes an intentional part of your journey as you're pursuing mentorship, as you're pursuing your focus, whatever it is that you are going after. And the reason why I involved Dorlisa in this chat is because she does a good job at it. I'll let her explain exactly what she does, but she's got a lot going for her. I think is important for you guys to hear. So let's start the conversation off tonight talking about your platforms. We know that you have a couple big ones. One being the one we established together, which is Cis Movement, and the other being Visions of Women, which is your baby. So if you
Mhm.
have some time right now, go ahead and introduce the viewers to Cis Movement and Visions of Women. Let us know what they're about.
Yes, so I guess I can start with the Cis Movement platform first, since that's the one you and I have together. So with Cis Movement, Lauren and I came together to create a platform where women could come and talk about some of the things that they want to do. So maybe it's to have those community efforts, or maybe they're just starting off or have the idea but don't know where to start. but it's all about being game changers in society and putting the Lord first. So Lauren and I, we're still, building onto that platform. We've had a few things with that and been able to talk to women probably from the ages of 20 and up, I would think. Um, some are teens or young adults that also are involved with that platform. So we've been able to talk to them about beauty. We had sessions on um, the clothing industry, how to dress, style. We've also, fashion, that's the word I'm looking for, fashion. We were able to talk about empowerment and also some other various forms of topics, but all, again, just throughout their journey, talking about how are they becoming, having purpose in their lifestyle. So
Yeah.
with all of that, again, putting God first and being game changers in society. So that's the one we have together, Sis Movement. So y'all check out sismovement.org. And then the other one for me, the one I started back in 2014, is called Visions of Women. So if you all don't know my story, I started Visions of Women to build a platform where women could come and talk about healthy and unhealthy relationships and also raise awareness towards domestic violence. So while I was in college, I went through unhealthy relationships. I had friends that were going through unhealthy relationships. Some of them encountered, being physically abused. And so, again, building a platform where they could come and talk and relate to each other. So I actually believe that when we talk about community, it's bringing people together, is, not only encouraging them, but giving them different strategies and different things that they can do with whatever problem that they're having and going through, giving them tools and resources to help with whatever is going on and meeting that need. So when I think about community, outreach is being innovative and engaging. So right now, Visions of Women is continuing to do work with college students and teens, young adults. This summer, we had our Val Girls League for ages 10 to 18. And so we had three different age groups, and the girls learned about they learned about healthy relationships, bullying, peer pressure, just different topics. Again, a lot of those topics focusing on the areas and things they may be going through right now. But ultimately, the goal is to talk about healthy relationships, the signs of abuse, what domestic violence is, and giving those tools and resources that they can refer back to for help, learning how to go to an adult and talk to them as well. And then just throughout the year, we, mentor. I check in on the girls and, just to see how they are doing. And right now, everybody is back in school, whether they are on college campus or they are in middle school, high school. The kids are back in school now. So this is their time to be focused in that area. And I've done some other things too, but I don't want to keep talking your head off. But my summer has been very busy going into fall and still working on different things and taking that next step to continue to reach the
That's
community.
good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You're
Goes
kind
in
of
and
like,
out, and I don't know why.
I don't know if you're talking or if you're now.
Ooh, girl, it was me.
Okay, sorry. Are we still on?
Now,
Are we
like,
still on?
I, we probably definitely have to do this again because although I heard the important parts of what you said, I don't want the internet interruption to distract. So we'll probably do this again, but we'll continue and hopefully get through this, and my internet will not mess up. Okay, we had no issues all day. So, but anyway, what you said was really good, and I love the fact that you went into your definition of community outreach, specifically
Mhm.
because you talked about just being a safe space for people to come to. So giving people just that hub or that opportunity to be able to reach out to someone when the resources
Mhm.
are there, and then bring the right resources and tools and information to the community, which I think is so important. And that's going to lead to my next question, which talks about the benefits that you've experienced as a result of community outreach, because I do think that this is the missing piece for a lot of people who are pursuing their goals. A lot of times it's very selfish, it's very self-centered. People are focused on themselves when they're pursuing their goals, and then they find themselves stuck. They find themselves not getting an audience or not getting the attention of other people, and it's generally because they've only on what they liked versus seeing the need of their audience or seeing the need of the people that they're actually trying to reach. So what has been one of the greatest benefits of community outreach for you?
I would have to say uh, building connections, connecting to people.
Mm-hmm.
So understand this, when you're able to connect with people and engage and to share what your services are, because I'll say this, having a nonprofit and having a business whereas you're still selling a product, and having a nonprofit where you're selling some type of, or not selling, but actually giving and sharing, educating people what your services are. We can look at those as two separate things, okay? Two separate entities there. So, connection is one. I've been able to benefit from that because when people need services, they need resources, you know, hey, when they're calling or reaching out to me and saying, hey, I have someone who's going through a domestic violence situation, what should I do? Or do any advocates in this area, or someone that can help them in this county in South Carolina? I'm able to give them the information that I have. I use Visions of Women as a resource tool to help people. So if you go on my website, you will see local resources and national resources, and especially resources in all 46 counties of South Carolina.
Yeah.
So I can point them back to that. And when I look at nonprofits, I really don't, get into, charging people, for services and stuff, because, that's not what a nonprofit is. It's being able to share and give the resources and things that people need. That's why nonprofits, rely on people giving and being committed to, that mission that nonprofit holds. So connecting and being able to be a reliable source, when people reach out to you. So that says a lot. And that has been some things I've been able to benefit from, as well as having the opportunity to be able to talk at different events, whether it's for the youth or for adults, being able to talk and again give information on what domestic violence is, and also, again, giving those resources that are in the community as well.
Yeah, for sure. Connections, and also the ability to share resources with the community. And honestly, I do believe that it goes on even selling products when
Mhm.
you're not a entity, because the way that you sell is through connection, is
Mhm.
through people trusting your product. You have to build a relationship initially to get there. So that I do think that that applies to both entities, whether it be a nonprofit or a for-profit business. And that leads me to my next question. So,
Mhm.
considering that the can often be crossed, and that business owners, and not just business owners, but people pursuing their own endeavors, like their personal goals, their dreams, things like that, where it involves other people, where you have to bring other people into the picture in order to help you get to the next level. In what
Mhm.
ways can community outreach be a benefit to them? Because I know it's easy and clear to see it for a nonprofit business, but sometimes even for profit businesses, and also just in your personal goal getting endeavors, it's kind of hard to grasp the idea of community outreach or the importance of it. So, how, in what ways can community outreach be a benefit for businesses, small businesses or large businesses, and then also people who are just in general pursuing their own goals?
I would say focusing on the problem. A lot of times with services, and I can use the schools for an example. You can't do
Mm,
everything. You can't do everything. So if you can't do everything, you have to be able to point people in the direction where they can get the help. So if you're running a business where you may have people that's coming in and they just may need counseling, you know, so you have to have
mm,
resources again where people can have that, so your services can be used up under different entities because they can't do everything. So that's very helpful.
yeah.
Whereas for me, if
Mm,
there's teams that are, going through unhealthy relationships, and someone who owns a business or another organization, because that has happened before, and they ask me, can you come in and do a healthy relationship talk with our team? Then I can do that because that's my expertise and that's what I talk about. I have resources, tools, and I also have different activities to go along with that. So that's a good way to look at it, is being able to, again, be a reliable source and being able to pour out that information that you have so you can help meet that need.
yes, I love it. Meeting a need
Mhm.
that applies anywhere. So whether I got a
Mhm.
goal to drink more water, there's a need. There's a need that can be met just by paying attention to myself, but involving someone who can maybe hold me accountable. There's a need for
Mhm.
that. There's a need for a business who's trying to reach a people group or an audience to identify a problem so that they can be the solution for the problem. So that's good. Being able to meet a need.
Mhm.
So quick tangent. I know that it sounds all nice when, we can just say, well, this is what you do, or this is how it's done. But I know that there are some challenges you face with being community driven. Can you talk through some of the things that you might have faced that might have hindered your efforts? And then also, in facing those challenges, how have you worked to overcome them?
Ooh, that's a good one. So, yeah, I have had challenges, and some of them have been A challenge to engage and ask like the big questions. So, not that you're so much scared to be around people, but like for me, having to reach people who are the decision makers, and can help and support my platform, reaching out to them because they are very, very busy. They have been doing this for a long time, whatever that may be, but reaching those big people who can support and know and have a whole wealth of knowledge. So building up that courage to talk to them, asking them, do you have any resources for me for, grants or whatever the case may be? And learning how to communicate, not just through text messaging or with emails, but making it more personal. Going to events and actually introducing yourself. Like that takes a lot of guts. Introducing yourself. Introducing your platform, preparing for that. Those can be some challenges, especially if you have questions and you may be nervous to ask them. Sometimes that happens. So that's the challenge. And then just overall in general, again, going back to the funding and asking questions, sometimes it's just like you don't really want people to think like you're just so needy, you're so needy. But really we all can be, needy in some form. But again, you have to reach out to people who have that knowledge and just know way more than you. And don't be scared to reach out to people more so on a personal level and build that connection. But sometimes that, again, going back to the challenge part, it can be a challenge because you could be nervous or you may feel like, I don't want to ask that, but really they could know the answer. You may be scared about what they're going to say, how are they going to respond. So asking questions, again, the media and communication, and it's a challenge to engage with people who are more advanced. So those are some of the things I've kind of had some challenges with, because you really have to build up that confidence to reach out to them and ask questions.
That's really good. Really good advice, especially for people who are not as outgoing. Community outreach can be a scary thing, especially when you have not done it. And when I say community outreach, it doesn't necessarily have to be you helping the community. It can be someone helping you, like you mentioned, reaching out to the decision makers and people who are in charge of or who have big influence, especially whatever your interests are. So that looks different for everybody. And, as much as we can keep talking about this, I really want to put a pause in our conversation here, because this is where I want to involve those of you who have watched this. I know that you might have some questions about how to step out of your comfort zone, maybe how to build that confidence, how to learn more about how you can meet a need regarding whatever it is that you're trying to pursue, endeavor to pursue. And I really want us to have a better conversation, rather than you just watching this replay, or watching this and not getting the answer question. I want you to go to notyouraverategirl.org/mentorship. And I want you to just read through it and make a decision based on what you think works for you. And let's connect. Let's talk more in detail about this. Furthermore, put your questions in the comments even. And let's chat more about just some things that we talked about tonight in this live. Again, I want to thank you, Dorlisa, for joining. I really appreciated your input, and I really think we should do a part 2. First of all, because of the technical difficulties and issues, we should definitely get that that figured out, because they don't need to miss anything you had to say. I think it was all important, and it really brought up some good information, especially for the go-getter woman or the woman who really wants to live on purpose. So we
Yeah.
definitely touch. Thank you for sharing your platform with us. If you would like to know more information about Dorlisa and everything she's got going on, Dorlisa, can you share your links with us and how they can connect with you one last time?
Yes. So you can reach me by going to visionsofwomen.org. On Facebook is at Visions of Women, and on Instagram is at Vision of Women. All right. So vision _of _women. That's for Instagram.
Awesome. And we're going to in the comments and also in the description and in our post on Facebook. You'll see all of that if you just come back to the post. But thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate your knowledge, and because I think, well, my internet went out one time, and then I don't know what happened after that. It was just in and out. But yeah, thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you guys for watching. I know you got to catch the replay because it's about.
Yes, thank
you. You're welcome.
All right,
y'all take care.
Peace.
Thank you, girl.